So we're going to do Japanese Knife 101. Kevin's there. He can hear me. He's currently, there we go. Can I hear him?
Hello.
I can hear you. Good. Good.
Life is good.
So
nothing to worry about.
So today's title is, I cheekily named it prior to our last conversation, Kevin.
I'm sorry about that. I'm letting the team down.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We could still talk about what the best knife for cooking Heston Blumenthal's famous chips.
We can.
We can still talk.
We can.
I actually brought something special from home to show everyone.
Oh, let's see it.
So I brought this giant book. See, look how comically large it is.
Bring that giant book, did you?
I did. So this is, in case anyone's curious, this is the Big Fat Duck Cookbook. So this is where I was gonna give Kevin the gears and quiz him on how to make these French fries.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can do that still. I actually think that might be fun because I've been bragging that this is the only way I make French fries. But the problem is,
what did you tell me this afternoon?
I don't think I've made French fries for 15 years. I think the last time I made them, I was working at St. John. Maybe it was 13, maybe 14.
Yeah.
But
so technically not lying.
No, it's the only way I make French fries. I just don't make French fries very often.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah. So I made French fries. We did that when we were still all locked down. I made French fries.
I remember you did that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I almost burnt down my house because I don't have a ton of regard for deep fryers and safety. So.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, so don't do what Chris does all the time.
No, he does some bad things sometimes.
Sometimes I do some bad things, but that's why everyone likes me. Because at least I'm entertaining to do.
True.
Some people.
True. I've never been bored.
No.
I've never been bored.
So today, like every other Tuesday, for the last, I don't know, we've done this for quite a while now. Today's Japanese Knife 101.
A few months now, for sure. A couple months anyway.
Yeah, it's been a good time. I've still got my sign that everyone over on Instagram gets to see.
You should put the sign closer to Instagram so it's in their face. They'll like it.
Yeah, there we go. Maybe I'll drop this down a little bit. This is where I wreck things, is when I get real close to them. There we go. There we go. So there you can look at my belly and the sign on Instagram. So that's fun. So today we had some plans to talk about, Venki says, have you ever tried sous-vide French fries? I've cooked like potatoes in a sous-vide bag with like duck fat and rosemary and stuff like that, but I don't know that I've ever then put them in the fryer after. It makes sense. I'm sure it tastes good.
No, I never have. Sounds like it's probably smart. I never have.
So what
Listen, I got some news, Chris. I got some news right now, Chris.
Yeah,
I got news.
What have you got?
News before we start. I got news before we start.
Notes today.
Well, I've got news. It's current. Edward V. Halen has passed today.
Mm-hmm.
Edward V. Halen. Bill and Ted will be very sad, as will many others. Anyway.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was sick.
I didn't even die.
I didn't even know
he wasn't really that old either. What was he, 60 or something?
No, I think the headline said 65. And throat cancer. So.
Well, there you go. Kids don't smoke cigarettes.
Yep, that's a good argument against those things.
It is.
So, but we've been listening to, we had 1984 going for the last hour.
One of the best albums ever made by humans.
Yeah, that's one of the good ones. So, but today is all about questions that you might have about knives and how to take care of them and what you might use them for. I do have a small arsenal of things I think are interesting in case, questions need prompting. And I took some notes. Took some notes of things that we might talk about.
I have some
Well,
shout
we've
outs.
got-
I have some shout outs. I had people gave me lots of nice things this week. I don't know why.
Oh,
But in Calgary, there's a band. They call themselves Dadcore. I think they're all 50-year-olds and such. Do you know Julie Van Rosendahl? Her husband's in the band playing drums. They're called the Foul.
did I meet her? Did I meet her
have.
at Terroir a couple years ago?
Oh yeah, you would have met her there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So her hubby plays the drums for the Foul English, and they dropped a couple of patches for me.
Oh,
so I
that's
got some
fun.
patches. So maybe I could send you one for your jean jacket, Chris. So you have a patch
for sure.
for a band you've never heard of.
That's okay. I finally sewed the little dandy octopus onto my vest.
Oh, everybody likes the dandy octopus, right?
Yeah.
Somebody sent me this, and it doesn't have anything to do with South Park. It's got more to do with our premiere. So somebody sent me this thinking I would enjoy drinking out of it. And it says, Mr. Kenny, you're not doing a great job. You could do better. That's what it says.
Please try harder, sir.
Please try harder and stop being not good. Try being better. Turn down the suck, turn up the good. It's that easy.
Oh, crank it up to 11.
Yeah. Listen, I got lots of things. I got lots of shout outs because I feel like, someone's going to send me something. I got to be nice about it. Here's one.
Well, for sure. Every little bit helps. What's that beer?
This is Trial and Ale out of Edmonton.
Okay.
This one's called Separated to a Degree. Is our first mixed fermentation release. We waited a long time, cultivated an elaborate mixture of wild yeast and lactic acid bacteria over a period of years to bring you this blend. That was a big sentence, but it reads more like that on both sides. It's very earnest. And they only do wild yeast and sours. And since I was shooting my mouth off a few weeks ago about how much I don't like sour beer because it tastes like yogurt or vinaigrette or puke, they sent me this one and said, please try ours. And that was nice of them. I haven't tried it yet because I thought I should educate myself about sour beer first, which is when this came into play. Oh, my desk is a mess. Anyway, they sent me that.
Well,
then they sent me a $20 gift certificate for Oak and Vine. And they said, please drink this and use this to buy something good to wash it down with, which was kind of them. So I went on a bar hop and I went and tasted every sour I could stand. My plan was to go to 5 or 8 breweries or something. I went to 4. And on the 4th one, I think we had 3 sours at the first one, 3 at the second one, and 5 at the third one. And I was done. I didn't change my mind.
Well, you remember that time?
I still find them painful.
Remember when we went to Toronto, and it was when we went to go see Nick Cave, and we ditched Maeve and went and hung out at Bellwoods for a while. You remember that?
Yeah. We didn't pay much for beer that day.
No. So we were hanging out with Tanya and her fella. I think his name's Mike, right?
His name is Mike.
Yeah. And so there people on Instagram are asking who I'm talking to. I am talking to Kevin. So if you were to go to knifeware.com/YouTube, then you would get the other half of the conversation. So we're doing what we call our Japanese Knife 101, where we haven't actually talked about any knives yet, but it's kind of our weekly. It's our weekly Ask Me Anything about Japanese knives. So we cover all the bases, talk about different shapes, different makers, how to take care of knives. If something's giving you a hard time, it's a great chance to ask us a couple questions and we'll get you all sorted out. But it's a lot better. It's just me being insane. And you're the first person to have ever pointed that out to me. So you should get a prize. But when we went, and something that Mike had told me, because I often get made fun of because I don't like very adventurous beers. Right. People give me a really hard time because I just like lagers and session ales. Like I just want to drink a lot of beer. I don't want to just have like I don't want to have like 2 really adventurous ones. I want to have like 24 and like fall asleep in the bushes. So I don't often, you know. So, but something that
Everybody
he told
falls asleep in the
me,
bushes sometimes. It happens.
yeah, it's like you're allowed.
And this is the owner of Bellwoods, you're saying, in Toronto.
Yeah, and he makes some
Who
pretty
makes
crazy.
super
He makes a
adventurous
beer called. He makes one called Donkey Venom. And then when I had told him, I was like kind of sheepish. I was sheepish about it. I had just said like, look, I don't really like really crazy stuff. Like, I like to like, I want the beer that you like throw darts at the Legion while you drink. You know, like that's what I want.
See, and I want
he's like, yeah, see, we have similar taste, you know. So, all right. Well, you know what? There are some people asking us some questions.
He also said. He
told me that that's okay, and that I'm allowed to like what I like. And at the end of the day, when he's making all these crazy beers, he just wants to have the same kind of beer that I do. So,
what a nice man.
I can't be. What a nice man. He's either lying to make me feel better, or we agree.
Might be both.
So, yeah.
Listen,
I've got a couple questions, but
I've actually got an excellent point here about sour beer.
Okay.
And Matt says, personally, I just change the shape of my tongue while drinking sours to keep the beer off the side so it doesn't get to be too much. Personally, I just put things that taste good in my mouth where I don't have to be an oral gymnast to get it to taste not terrible. I just try to put good things in.
How would you do that? Like,
I don't know.
You'd like curl your tongue
Like a luge, make a little luge.
Yeah.
Here's the last thing. Sprawl, Calgary. Sprawl is Jeremy's local. Yeah, it's local. It's local news where he goes really in depth in things, not shallow, but really in depth. And they just sent out a big package of like all kinds of bump for me just to say thanks for being a monthly subscriber. And I just think it's good to pay for good local journalism because they're telling the real stories, which is nice.
Yeah,
and
you know, I've
sorry.
I was going to say, like, I'm definitely okay with paying for my media. You know?
Yeah.
They're putting the work in.
Well, I used to buy newspaper. Now I don't have to. It's all free online. So now I read the newspapers I really want to, which mostly is The Guardian from London and The Observer on the weekends. Looks like Fred Bashara not only said, he says, I know that you paid more than $750 in taxes last year. So I don't know what he's referring to, but I think he's referring to some tax evasion, some tax dodger in the States. Yeah. It's a bummer.
Yeah.
Don Penny's late. Hi, Don Penny. So you said you had questions.
He made it, though. Over on Instagram, there was a couple of people who did ask some good questions. The first question was if we wanted a truly unique Damascus, like a one of a kind, what would we get?
That makes it hard because Kagura is retired.
Yeah. Yeah. You could also you could put yourself on the wait list for one of the Shigafusas. That's usually a good move. Hinora. There's got to be some Hinora coming for the garage sale. 1 or 2.
You know what I asked every week?
That's a guess.
Yeah. I've said, you know what, Hinora sounds a big jazz fan. He's a big jazz fan. So I bought him, and he likes records. He likes LPs. So I bought him a really heavy vinyl deluxe pressing of Oscar Peterson's Night Train, which
cool.
Peterson, Canadian, right? So I thought I'd send him. He likes sax the best, but I thought I should send him a really iconic Canadian jazz album. Just at the very, he probably has it, but this is a good pressing, right? It's a good pressing, and hey, it's good.
Peter Brown, I do like the beer at Tooth and Nail. I haven't had that one yet, but
their beer is good. Their beer is good. They're the ones that make the pink fizz, right?
No, that's Beyond the Pale.
They're good. Who's
This
Tooth and
one,
Nail?
we've been there. Tooth and Nail, you and I have popped in there before. They've got like all the cans are, they're off of Wellington, by across the, like, kind of kitty corner and across the street from that LCBO down there in Hintonburg.
Oh, yeah,
You know where like my friend Julian's shop was, like the last time
We
you
were
tried to go
in
visit
there
him?
one day, and I believe they were closed when we were there, but they just served us beer anyway.
Yeah, and they sold it, and we bought a bunch of cans from them. So Malcolm,
always helps.
the on Instagram, Malcolm, the blacksmith that Kevin and I are talking about is Hinora, Hinoura.
Or
So
Shigafusa.
we tried,
I think he's asking
or
Shigafusa.
Shigafusa. Yeah, so Shigafusa is Shigefusa. So either of those, they both make their own Damascus one at a time. If you wanted something like super unique, those you're gonna have to wait for it, because those knives they're not, they're one at a time, so they take a while. But they're both amazing. There was also someone on Instagram earlier who asked, how do you sharpen a Deba? Now, that's a little more involved.
That sounds like a kid's book. Like, how do you hug a porcupine?
How to sharpen a
That was one
Deba?
I read. How to sharpen a
Yeah,
Deba?
yeah.
Very carefully is how you hug a porcupine.
Yeah.
Is it Deba similar?
I'll give you what's this? Perfect. I know this is about, what about the Serbian style cleavers? I'll talk about those in a minute. But when we're talking about a Deba, right? A Deba is a traditional single bevel knife, right? This is for a right-handed person. So
like a normal-handed person?
A normal-handed person. So that's obviously it's backwards when I hold it. But when you're sharpening one, you'll generally spend most of your time on this one line here, and that'll lay flat to the stone. This is a really good question for if you're watching. Naoto and Kevin have a conversation on Friday afternoons about advanced sharpening techniques, and Naoto's usually got the stones out in front of him. Essentially,
Always.
what you want to do is you'll spend the whole time, well, most of the time, on this side, and then flat on the other side. You're almost never applying any extra angles or anything. Single bevel knives are really easy to sharpen, but they just take more time. So, and they can be, and you know what, I think a lot of people are intimidated by them because it's unlike anything they've already done.
I say they're easier to sharpen because
Yeah,
the guide's
definitely.
already there. You just put it flat on the one side, then flat on the other side.
Yeah.
And then
It's
then
like
worry
doing
about removing the boo.
Yeah.
Removing the boo. I'm being all
Removing the
festive,
boo.
Chris. Boo.
Yeah. Ooh.
Hey, Halloween's coming up.
Halloween is coming up. I have no plans at all because you can't do anything anymore.
I
trying to figure that
rode
out
my
without children.
bike. I rode my bike past this house today.
Ooh, spooky.
It was super spooky. And I stopped to take a picture, and then a hellhound inside started barking at me. And I was so scared. I think the hellhound was probably 3 pounds in weight. I don't think
it's
it
probably
was
like my dog.
I don't know if it was quite as big as your dog.
Nice.
It might have been
Small ones
smaller.
are the yappiest. I'm gonna do my best to say your name. Lejan Torres on Facebook is saying, if I buy sharpening stones online, how long does the delivery take? They are in Los Angeles, California.
Well, it depends if they get stuck at the border, but I saw a review came across my desk the other day that we sent something on a Tuesday and they got it on Thursday in the States.
Yeah,
so
we've shipped
things
stuff
can be like things can be as short as 2 days and up to a week or so. But it all depends, right? It's kind of out of our hands.
Yeah.
So it all kind of depends on how the U.S. Postal Service is going.
I know it can take up to 10 business days for most things going into the States, but like Kevin said, usually the turnaround is much quicker. So yeah, we use DHL to ship things across borders, and they're very quick and quite affordable too. So you don't get dinged with a ton of extra stuff when you're ordering.
Fred said he ordered a knife at 3 a.m. on Wednesday and got it on Thursday. Is that one day or 8? Is that 1 day or 8 days?
That would be
1 day or 6 days.
It's either 1 business day or 5 business days, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
it was one or the other.
Yeah. We've got some stuff coming up in the next little while. We've got my list here is not in chronological order at all, but there's an
Fred
email.
said it took one. Fred said it took 1 day. 1 day.
That's amazing.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I can't do anything.
Ottawa to Pennsylvania, but Fred says he wants to move to Canada. I think he's sad about this whole $750 tax bill.
Yeah, you know, Fred, you could just come out and you can hang out here in the store. I'm usually good for, I've got soda waters around. You've got a good Italian deli on the corner.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be in good shape.
Sandwiches. Yeah, they'll take care of you. It's fun. It's fun. But so I guess, yeah, maybe there's people watching from all over, but we've got the Canadian Thanksgiving is coming up this week. So our stores are going to be closed on Sunday and Monday. So if you are watching and you've the intention of coming in to have some knives sharpened, keep that in mind, that you want to get here, and don't, I would even say, try to get here, in a couple days if you need the knives for the weekend. Because if you show up on Saturday, like everybody else did, and we can't get, there's only so many knives that can be done. So, we do our best, but these days are a little bit different than what it used to be. So give yourself lots of time to help avoid disappointment across the board. Okay. So where are we located? Because I bought my knife in your guys' shop in Vancouver. So I am in the Ottawa store, and then Kevin is in his office in Calgary. So we've got shops in Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, and Ottawa. And we've a whole other brand as well called Kent of Inglewood, which I always describe as it's all of the other, if Knifeware is the rock and roll kitchen knife store. We sell Japanese kitchen knives here because they're the best ones you can get. They're the most fun to use. Kent of Inglewood is about all of the other sharp stuff, right? There's axes and there's campfire knives and there's safety razors and straight razors, and every now and again we get all kinds of crazy stuff through there. But it's all about kind of getting dirty, hanging out in the bush, and then getting home and cleaning yourself up. So that's worth, and those are in Edmonton. Yep. Well, we've got there's representation in every city for Kent of Inglewood now. We've got a little pop-up in the Vancouver store. So, and then someone there's a lot of questions on Instagram today. It's a good thing I turned this on.
Deals. Somebody's asking if you have deals in store that don't show up online.
If it's on the website, it's all the same across the board. The shops and the website all draw from the same inventory. You might, some stores sometimes have a couple of retired testers or whatnot, but you know what, if you find it online, that's the deal. We try to keep it pretty even right across the board. We're not too smart. It gets confusing if we kind of have different rules for different places.
Yep.
I have a hard enough time getting myself to work.
Logie Bear Sanchez 17 says, I've been to your shop in Calgary with my aunt. Well, that's great.
Okay. So Don has a question about his next knife. So he's saying, next knife, Hanasuki or Sujihiki? And for a Sujihiki, would you find a 270 more useful than a 360 or something else entirely?
If you're going to cut briskets.
Yeah, if you're going to continue to shit talk me on a weekly basis about briskets, the 360 is the way to go. If you want something, I think a 270 is probably the most versatile size for a Sujihiki. I wouldn't get a 240 unless I had a tiny kitchen and I was never going to carve anything too big.
Or
But
if it was your second slicer.
If it was like, yeah, if it was my second slicer, sure. But I went the other way because the first, I have a bunch of Sujihikis.
I got a few.
Yeah, the first one I got was, we don't sell them anymore, but it's a Mac, the curved one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one of those.
Thomas Keller says that's the best knife ever made.
You know what? That knife, I wouldn't say it's the best knife ever made. I don't agree with Mr. Keller on several things. That would be one of them. But it is a really good knife for cleaning salmon, because you can kick the shit out of that knife.
You know what my favorite salmon knife is?
What's that?
240 Shimo. Masakage Shimo, 240 millimeter. It's more rugged than the rest of the Masakages, and I've blasted it through salmon often. It's great.
Yeah. Well, that kind of, Logie Bear is asking, if you only had one knife, what would it be? And that would fit in with that. If I could only have one knife, it would be a 240 Gyuto.
I'd have a 270 because it's bigger.
270
I could do more with it. I would have a 270. Something sturdy.
Yeah.
But not too heavy. What would you have? Okay, what would you're allowed one knife. Owen says it's the Miyabi black bread knife. Owen's our manager in Vancouver, and he thinks the Miyabi black bread knife is the best knife in the world. That's the one knife he says. He's crazy.
Adrian says a 210 Denka is his one and only.
Fair enough. Adrian also asked me if I'm ever in the stores. And I'm not these days because I'm not allowed.
Kevin has to stay away from the stores right now because we might need Kevin in case a bunch of people get sick. So Kevin is our version of the A team. He just gets
I'm the D team.
you get in Mad Dog's helicopter and then fly to where you're needed.
Yeah, so if one of our staff members gets sick at one of the shops, we have to close the shop down. And then I get to jump on an airplane with Naoto and Nathan Garrow, and the three of us will go and take over and run a store while people are isolating. So that's something. I don't even know how to, anyway. Chris, I'm in trouble if this happens.
Yeah, well, we'll figure it out. We'll all figure it out. So Logie Bear was asking if we could show him a knife. So I just went and grabbed this Masashi 240, this Kuroshu. I would, that's probably what I would grab. I like a 240. I don't know that I would go with a 270 for my one and only. I think a 240 is the right size for me.
You know what? If it's that knife, I could go with that knife.
Yeah,
I can be tricked into that for sure.
Yeah. Adrian is saying that he wants to get his hands on a 270 Denka floor model. I'll tell you a little secret, Adrian. There's no floor models. That's why we have all the testers. Because they're all we
don't have any
right across the board. We don't
have any testers that are Sujikis.
What's your best bet? Here's what you need to do if you want to try one. You won't be we don't make many Sujihikis testers like Kevin's saying, but what you got to do is hit up one of the stores, and you just got to figure out which store someone owns one of those knives, because they'll probably let you use it.
You're kind of smart.
So, yeah, well, that's why my my Sujihikis are here. Like so to go back to what I was talking about with Don, my first one was the Mac, and then I got a Mizu 270, and then I got a Kotetsu 270, and that's the one that I probably use the most, is the Kotetsu. But now I have the 360 Moritaka, which I really just use for the really big hunks of meat.
And you've also got Maud usually at your place, it seems.
Yeah, I don't know where Maud is now. We don't have Maud right now. Maud went to Edmonton. I think someone bought Maud.
No.
I think so. I think Owen sold it at like Brewery and the Beast.
No.
Yeah.
Tell us who Maud is. Tell us who Maud is.
Maud is the I can't remember the blacksmith who made it. I think it was Shizuku.
Shimizu.
Shimizu.
Shimizu, and he was the one that was working with Toru, who used to work with us at the Calgary shop. So Toru left Knife for Calgary to go back to Japan to learn to be a blacksmith. And then he decided he just wanted to get into sharpening. So he was sharpening knives for Shimizu. And then Shimizu-san retired. And now Toru started a sharpening business with a buddy on back where he's from, which is on Shikoku Island. And it's the town called...
Was I there? Did I get to go there?
No, we didn't go to that town. It's really tiny. I can't remember the name. But he's got a sharpening business there now.
Oh, Bulletproof Pride says they're from Ottawa too. Well, you should come by here sometime and say hello to me in person. And then James is asking me, what is your dream knife that I don't own yet?
Oh, what is your dream knife that you don't own yet? Can I guess what yours is? 240 Kuroshu?
Yeah, it's the knife I was just showing, James. That's the one that I always, and they just keep getting better too, all the time. Like this one's even nicer than the last one, you know? Yeah, I would say like I have really, you know what though? I only have one Nakiri. So
that's it.
Yeah, I've got that.
That's strange. That's strange for a vegetarian like you.
Yeah, I only have one Nakiri, but I really, really like it. So maybe I get another Nakiri. Might be my next night. I don't know. Let me think about that for a couple minutes. Maybe I can come up with something really creative for you. Because like, yeah, like the easy answer is like, yeah, I want this knife. Like, look at it. It's so beautiful.
Well, I'll tell you what I want. Dream knife.
Yeah.
So good. I got that 210. No, I got a 240 that. Love that thing.
Yeah.
Dream knife. Masukagishimo slicer.
Yeah.
Hinura river jump. Nakiri and a petty. Maybe.
Paul Ferlot has both of those knives. That's a friend of Don's. Friend of Don has a Hinura river jump Nakiri. I think he has a petty too.
Yeah, we had that one petty through our hands that was a B class. He didn't like it because the shape was funny, and I loved the shape, but it sold before I got to steal it.
Yeah, that's usually the
killing me. You only have one. You gotta have more than one dream knife.
Yeah, it changes a lot.
I want a Kurosaki skinning knife, like a tiny little blade.
Yeah.
Like something like the knife I don't have here. That's the want. There's a lot. It changes every week.
Yeah. You know what I would like
Don
is I
says your
would
buddy
like.
has...
He's got 3. Yeah, I think he's got a petty and a 210 and a Nakiri. I know that I helped him. I helped him get the Nakiri for Christmas. Yeah. So we've got a sharpening question from Gerhard. Hi guys, what am I doing wrong? Here it is. I sharpen algami and softer steels on a Shapton Kuromaku 1000, then an 8000 only edge trailing, and then a 12,000 only edge. It gets 6 sharp, but when it starts dropping on leather, it instantly doesn't pass the tomato test nor the paper test. I don't understand. I wouldn't go from a 1000 to an 8000 like that. I would have a couple of steps stuck in the middle, because you're probably not really doing as much as you think you are when you get to the 1000. Is it passing your, are you able to slice a piece of paper before you strop it? Because that might, that might have something to do with it. Maybe you're being too aggressive with the strop. I'm not sure.
I got 3 options for what's going on. I got 3 options.
Yeah.
One, you're skipping too many steps. Put a 4000 in there, and I think edge trailing only means you're just dragging it slightly. Nah, keep working on it. Actually work the 4,000 and then work the 8,000 a bit. Don't just drag it slightly. Because I think probably what's happening is you're getting that really tiny, fine kind of 12,000 burr, and that'll blast through paper and blast through a tomato. But once you remove that burr, you'll find out it's not sharp yet because it's because you haven't removed all the jagged edges from the 1,000.
I hadn't put all the work in from the.
One, you're skipping the steps and you're not getting it sharp because you just haven't done enough work. Two, you're cheating, basically not cheating, but the knife is lying to you because it's got a really, really fine burr that's doing all the really sharp cutting. And once you remove the burr, it's not sharp anymore because you haven't done the work yet. Or three, when you're stropping, you're not stropping at a low angle, you're stropping at a really high angle, maybe, but that'd be unusual to dull Ogami Super just by stropping. Because I've seen like some of the best knife sharpeners I know strop at almost 90-degree angle.
Yeah, like up like that.
Yeah, like you watch Takamura's brother strop, and he strops like that, and his knives are insane sharp.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my guess.
Yeah.
Good luck.
You know what my dream knife would be? I don't have a Honyaki knife. And that's what I would go for.
I want a Hanasuki petty.
I'd take anything really at this point.
I got a 240 already.
Yeah, that's a really cool knife.
I never use it, you know.
No, eh?
I should. It's, you know what? I got it at a store in Japan.
Oh, okay.
I got it at a store, and then Kosuke from Konosuke, he helped me find a lacquer maker to get the handle and the sheath for it. And then Jeff at Horace and Jasper made me this rad case for it. Look at this case.
Oh, I've seen this before.
Black leather, and it's got black rabbit fur on the inside.
Yeah.
So Jeff at Horace and Jasper made this really rad holder for me.
How many? Well, John Beckel is asking us how many knives we own.
I just own one.
Yeah. Kevin's a good chunk of Kevin's collection is in the back of the book, but that's not even all of it.
See, and my knife here, because it was custom, I got it to Seihocho Manya, which is my fake Japanese name. It means kitchen knife nerd.
Yeah, that knife is wicked.
I never use it. I got to use it today. That's what I'm going to do. Look at the hammer. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wiggly little hammer.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I don't have anything quite like that. That's what I would, my dream knife. I saw a question here. Yeah, John is asking how many knives do I own? I don't have as many as Kevin. Last time I counted them, which was 2 years ago, I've got 43 Japanese knives. Now I'm including things I've had for a very long time. Like I have a few globals and Macs. That's what got me through the workday before I started working here. But I've got 3 Mizus. I've got 5 or 6 Moritakas. I've got a little Takeda Kogatana. I got a mirror Konosuke and a mirror Masashi. I got a bunch of stuff. It's all at home though. And then Kevin's got like 4 billion knives.
Well, I don't have 4 billion, but listen, I've been collecting Japanese knives since 1999, right? And I've owned knife stores now for 13 years. So I've had opportunity to add to the collection, but I've got, I don't know. When we did the book, Mason and I pulled out, I think we found like 140 knives, but we didn't even get a picture of all of them because we spread them out. There was too much space. So if you look in the book, there's a picture of like the crazy knife set, and it's a lot. That's a lot of my knives. It's most of them.
Yeah.
But there was some that weren't in Calgary, and we just didn't get them out of the box either. Like I think in the corner of the picture, there's a whole bunch of knives in boxes still. That's because we didn't even get them out of the boxes because there was just too many. James Wang is saying, how long would Kevin take to count all of his knives? Well, how long does it take me to count to 140? Well, it's more now because I've added at least 20 knives since then. Oh God, probably more.
Yeah.
I've been on a tear, Chris. I added 3 again recently. And I custom ordered 2 more knives from Masashi. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's stupid.
You know, we've all got our things.
It's stupid.
Robert is asking a 210 or a 240 Gyuto for home use. And I've got my word of advice for you, Robert, is if you are picking up
home.
See, what I was going to say is if you pick up a 240 and you're only a little bit afraid of it, then you should buy that one because you can do more with the 240. But if you pick up a 240 and you're like, oh shit, that's way too big, then get a 210. But you'll get
that's actually really smart advice.
Yeah, if you're just like a little bit nervous about a 240, you'll have it figured out by the second half of your onion. You know, you'll be comfortable with it. It won't take you long. But if you're like just like dead set afraid of it, then yeah, don't get that because you'll never use it. So, but I think a 240 fixes most problems.
Yeah. Listen, we've got some comments here. Michel Cote says he loves his Kotetsu R2 270 Gyuto. Must be a Tsujihiki. Never mind.
Must be. Yeah, I think. Yeah.
So he's saying that. We've also got some other strange comments that make me laugh. Like,
what do you got there?
Chef Mex is saying, I hear Don Penny makes crazy good brisket so moist. You know, Adrian, it's true. Chef Mex, Don Penny's brisket's like legendary, really, on Tuesday, legendary. And I hate to say it because Chris is here, but I hear it's better than Chris Lord's. And he makes fantastic brisket. No. Chef Max also says, I've met Naoto a few times, a very nice man. Well, I agree. I was with Naoto last night, and I'm with him tomorrow night too. Or no, Friday night. Yeah, tomorrow night and Friday night. Chris, you don't know this. I can't go to Japan this month. So, so Naoto and I are having Zoom meetings with everybody every evening.
Oh, wait. Well, I was talking to Naoto this morning because I had, well, this is as good a time as any. Naoto is interviewing Kato-san this week.
That's right, Thursday.
So Thursday at 6 Mountain Time. So that's going to be 8 o'clock here in Ontario. And then I guess 5 o'clock if you're as far as BC. They've got a nice long list of questions kind of talking about why he does what he does and how he does it and what's his, just kind of get to know the guy behind some of our favorite knives. Yoshimi Kato makes the Masakage Koishi, he makes the Kiri, he makes the Yuki. He's been making the last couple of years, he's been making some really incredible stuff out of SG2, some really beautiful Damascus.
I think I have one of his knives here handy.
You get a chance to have a conversation with him. It's these, when Naoto takes the time to do these, I shouldn't word it like that. It sounds like he doesn't do stuff very often. When he does these interviews with the blacksmiths, it's a really great opportunity to kind of learn a little bit more about the person who makes the knives, because he, Naoto will kind of translate your English questions into Japanese and then get you your answers. So there'll be a little bit of English and then a whole bunch of talking in Japanese, and then a little bit of English again.
Yeah,
so it's
Naoto's working on some subtitles for those.
Oh, great! Great.
It's low. It's low on his list of things to do. But eventually, one day there'll be subtitles for those.
Yeah. No, but I'm looking forward to it. I was very lucky. I got to hang out with Kato-san a couple of times when he came to Ottawa, and then once when I got to go to Japan.
He's a good
So-
guy, and he's kind of quiet, and he seems like he's just
Yeah.
kind of quiet and maybe shy. And
Yeah.
then you get a few beer in him, and some of the young guys go away, and he's a lot of fun. I think he's just tired of the young guys bugging him.
Yeah. Well, when we had, so when the that was what, 3 summers ago now? No. How long have I worked here? 5 years. First year I worked here, I went to Japan. The next year I worked here, Masashi came to Ottawa. So it was 2 summers ago, Kato-san was here in Ottawa.
Mhm.
And it was like at the end of their big trip. They'd already been to all the other knife wares. They had made a stop in Toronto to see some people, and then they took the train to Ottawa, and they were very disappointed with the speed of the train in Canada, which I warned them. I told them.
They didn't
I asked
believe you,
Shiba-
though. They didn't believe you.
No, I asked Shiba how fast or how he was getting from Toronto to Ottawa, and he said, "Oh, we'll take the train. It'll take 2 hours." And I said, "Bullshit." I said, "I can drive down and pick you up faster than it would be for you to take the train." And he didn't listen to me, so he took the train. They were all very disappointed when they got to Ottawa, because what would I know? I only live here. So, so Kato-san was a little tuckered out by the time they got here, and I had a barbecue at my house and had everyone over, and Kato just hung out on my couch with my dog and just avoided all the kids. He had a good day. I fed him lots and he got to relax. So
Yeah, I think he was tired of the kids.
yeah.
It had been a hard trip by then. I think he was just tired of the kids.
Yeah. Well, it's hard.
The kids being Shibata, Kurosaki, and Ikeda.
And you.
I was really under the weather that time. I was pretty well
when you got-
behaved. That
yeah,
trip, I
when
was
you
really
got
under the
here,
weather. I was very quiet then.
Oh, Charlie Hustlehops. That's a good name. Has a good question over on Instagram for us, Kevin. Who, in your opinion, are the top 5 Japanese blacksmiths?
You should tell Charlie Hustlehops to tune into YouTube, because then he'll hear
you should
both
come
of
over
what
to
we
YouTube,
have to
Charlie.
say. Because
Come
I'm
over
going
to
to start
YouTube.
talking right now. He's not going to hear anything. So I'm going to answer a different question first.
Okay.
And it's going
We're
to
going to
be,
give you a chance to zip
who-
over, and then Kevin will answer.
yeah, give him a chance to zip over, and then we'll answer it.
Yeah.
Who, in your opinion, is the best Sanjo knife maker?
Ooh.
Now, if you want something insane and heirloom, Hinura or Shigefusa. But if you want like just a knife that's going to work and be brilliant all day, go to Masashi. If you want something from a young guy that's up and coming, other than Masashi, Tanaka's great, or Mizaki's great. But I think the really underrated blacksmith is Tomo at Tojiro Atelier.
Oh yeah.
He makes
yeah.
him and Sayaka make killer knives. They're
Let me
just
grab
brilliant.
a Sous-Vide.
I think the fit and finish and the look and the detail on them is so much more than the price, and I think it's so much more than the knives.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So this would be
there we go.
by Tomo.
I was actually, Naoto and I were talking to them yesterday. Monday. What day is it today? Tuesday. Yeah, so yesterday. And Tomo-san and Sayaka were saying that they would like to come to Canada and do a blacksmithing tour, like demonstration tour across Canada, maybe next year or the year after, whichever year they can travel safely.
Whenever they can get there, yeah.
So yeah, they're interested in coming for that, which would be outstanding. Oh, and they're making some more hunting knives for us for Kent of Inglewood stores.
Oh,
so
cool.
Before Christmas, there'll be some more hunting knives from Tomo and Sayaka-san. And they work under the Tojiro Atelier name. So maybe your friend has shown up here, Charlie.
Yeah, he said he was.
Hops.
He said he was going to try to scoot over. Yeah, so he's going to try to scoot over.
Maybe you can start. You can start and see what happens.
Yeah. Okay, so my top 5 blacksmiths. Well, I think so we can do it. He's over there now. He's over, so we can do it. We've been waiting for you, Charlie. We've been waiting for Charlie. So Okay, so I'm going to say top 5 Japanese blacksmiths. Now, this is based on the breadth of what I know is not what Kevin knows. So I'm going to say
Your
Fujiwara.
opinion is just as valid.
Yeah, so based on, I'm going to say Fujiwara, Itsuo Doi. I'm like looking around the room to see like what kind of gets me jazzed up. I think the Moritakas. I don't care what anyone says. You can come at me with your comments, but I'm pretty big and I'd punch someone over this. So yeah, Fujiwara. I'd say Kagura, even though he's not making knives right now, but he's up there too. So who did I say so far? Fujiwara, Itsuo Doi, Kagura, Moritaka, and I think Takumi Ikeda.
Ooh.
He's up there for me. Because if you can find a knife that's sharper than a Kotetsu.
Those are sharpened by Shibata-san, but they're forged. They're what? Like they're forged, hammer forged by Ikeda-san. Yeah. Okay.
So those are mine.
Top 5 blacksmiths in Japan. I like the Moritakas because they've been after 720 or 730 years of history and make brilliant knives from start to finish. Even do their own lamination. We carry Takeda knives because I like the guy and I think his knives are brilliant. If you like Japanese knives, you should have one of his, but you don't need 10. You just need one, and you need the 240 Gyuto. That's what you need. You know, for up and coming, Ikeda-san and Mizaki, Manaka, and Masashi. Those are my 1, 2, 3, 4 up and coming guys that I think are brilliant. I need a knife from Hinura-san.
Yeah.
Kagura, who I think was easily top 5, is now retired, but he sneaks out a few knives now and again. And I just bought another one. Oh, I kind of accidentally bought another one, Chris. It happens. It's not my fault. He's retired and he makes the knives still.
I think this retirement is just a ploy. He's just like making knives one at a time and selling them to you.
He might be.
Yeah.
Who else am I missing there? Kurisaki's getting really well known. Fujiwara, those Denka knives he makes are outrageous. Yeah. They're unreal. If we could ever get Takamura Uchigumos again, those brilliant knives. That's my top 5. Did I get to 5 yet?
Yeah, you were at like 15 or something. Oh, here's a couple. AJ is saying, what Tojiro line would that be? Does Knifewood regularly sell that line? The knife that I was showing there, AJ, it's called the Sugimori, Sugimori.
If you see under, I gave him the link right under his comment.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay. I'm not.
And he's asking about Shiraki-san. I don't know. I've never had his knives.
I don't know who that is.
Is there a big difference between Algami 2 and Algami Super? Yeah, Algami Super is harder and less tarnishing and better, as the name Super says. But then again, like with the Moritaka Ishime line, the Algami 2 that they use for that feels a lot like Algami Super because the extra forging process they put it through just makes it tougher and harder. So workmanship also means something. Like I know you can get stamped Algami Super blades all day long, but a hammered one makes more sense because they just take on the forging. They take on the forging effect, and they're just a nicer, harder, more rugged knife. Chris was just showing them the Moritaka Ishime. That is a number 2 blue steel, but it acts like a super blue steel. Yeah. Because of the extra work they do to put on the texture, it's a cold forging process that just makes the knife tougher and harder, which is great. So it's not just the steel, it's also workmanship and quality that's really important to take into consideration.
Well, it's like if Don Penny and I cook a brisket, mine will be shit and Don's will be delicious.
Yours is
Same piece of
delicious.
meat.
Don's is just better. He told me that. He sends me emails every week just saying that your brisket's terrible.
Don's a good guy. He wouldn't do that to me.
Yeah, and Chef Mex even knows too.
Yeah, well, he does. Yeah, he's
Oh my God.
really he's not part of the solution here at all. Mr. Hustlehops is asking, if you were to visit Japan, what knife shop would be must visits? Planning a trip to Japan for next spring. You know what? I had a really good time at Sugu in Kyoto.
Yeah, that's a great one. Right in the Nishiki market. It's fantastic. I was going to say, go to the Henkel shop on Kappabashi Road.
The Henkel shop on Kappabashi Road, he says. I think I did go in that store though, didn't I?
We did.
You know what I had? I'm going to tell you something, Charlie.
There too.
I'm going to tell you a little secret here, Charlie Hustlehops. If you look anything like I do, you're going to have a really hard time buying a knife in Japan.
Nobody's going to talk to you.
No one wants to talk to you. Kevin, so I've been to Japan twice with Kevin. And the second time when we visited Kappabashi, he told me that he would buy any knife that I was able to purchase. He would pay for it. And after the third store of me walking in and the little old Japanese man going into the back room, never to be seen again, I realized that I was not getting a free knife that day. So if you look anything like I do, best of luck is all I can tell you. But if you were in Kyoto,
basically larger. If you're larger than 5'10" and have a visible tattoo, you're scary.
Yeah, terrifying.
Period. Larger than 5'10" is scary. Larger than 5'10" with a tattoo is scary. Larger than 5'10" and over 200 pounds is scary.
Yeah, and facial hair
tattoos.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a beard kind of makes you stick out too. But yeah, if you were to go to
I was going to say, I just have special I'm harmless clothing and wear in Japan. I've cultivated I'm harmless wardrobe hard, so people aren't too scared.
Yeah, I just wore long sleeve shirts the whole time, and I got really, really hot. So, yeah. But I was warned ahead of time that it would be like just watching Bigfoot walk down Bank Street. So
it was.
Yeah. And the thing is, when I was traveling with these guys, I'm the little one. You know,
yeah, Visty's taller than me. I'm 6'3", and Visty's taller than me.
Yeah.
And I got to kind of but you got all the attention because you're covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
So I got to stand back and watch, and it was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't even notice you.
So, I was at least weird.
But there is a cool shop. It's in Kyoto. It's in the Nishiki market, and it is. I don't know how to describe to get there. You just go the market. You'd find the market easy enough, and they've got some people in there. They'll be able to help you out. You know, they'll engrave your name on there. They'll tune it up, send you home. You get a cool Deba or a Suba or something like that.
You'll get a cool Deba, and it'll rust and chip. But be careful. So there you go. Be careful, it'll rust whatever they sell you. So just don't let it. Most importantly, though, if you're in Kyoto, there's 2 things you have to do in Kyoto.
Yeah.
Okay, there's 20 things you have to do in Kyoto. One of them is you have to go to Percent Arabica Coffee, and 2 is you have to go and find the bar called Kyoto Loves Gin.
Well,
and
what about
3, you have to go to Kyo Hormone Taisho. So just Google Kevin Kent's favorite Japanese restaurant, something like that. It will come up either on an AMA article or a blog from Knifeware.
Yeah.
And you got to go there too. Yeah, and also do some temples and stuff like that. Go do some temples.
You know what I did? The first time I was in Kyoto, I just didn't sleep. I just wandered around.
That's true.
All hours of the day. I would take small 45-minute to 1-hour naps, and I saw a whole lot of that city. So.
And that trip, I was really tired by then, so I just was no fun. So you just adventured without me.
Yeah, that's fine. You brought me to a couple of cool spots, and then I just got lost. I'm not much of a world traveler, but here's a good piece of advice that I can give you: is whatever hotel or hostel or whatever you're staying in, take a handful of business cards with you, because I can't speak Japanese, but if I have a business card and I can hail a cab, you can give them that, and they'll get you to where you need to go.
They'll take you home.
Yeah. It's a good, you know what? It's not a bad piece of advice, even if you're just like drunk in your hometown.
AJ's saying,
down on a piece of paper.
AJ's asking us if we like the Yoshikani Hamono knives. Yeah, Yoshikani, you got to understand Masashi-san that we talk about quite a bit. It's his brother. So him and his brother used to work together for Yoshikani. And when the uncle retired, the two brothers kind of had differing ideas of how they wanted things to work. Masashi wanted to be really artisan and make knives one by one and really have like high level of control. And his brother wanted to make things more a little bit more mass market. So they had a falling out, and I chose to go the artisan route there. I don't know what Yoshikani knives are like now. I know that they had changed considerably from 10 years ago. They're a bit more mass market, and there's more machining involved than there used to be. I'm sure they're great still. Masakagi is a brand name. A lot of different blacksmiths make knives for Masakagi, like Kato-san, Ikeda-san, Anru-san, Sasayaka, something else. Kagura used to, but he's retired.
Yeah. Saji makes the Zero.
Saji-san, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, so Saji. It's kind of like, he's fun. We have a great picture, Kevin and I, of two of us being a little bit drunk, and Saji-san is a lot drunk. Where we've got like the kind of the buddy like arm around each other, and Saji's like not even looking at the camera.
No, he was looking elsewhere for half of that night.
Yeah, well, so that was one night where we like, because that trip we hadn't really gotten too crazy until that point. Well, there was a strange dinner with Kazama. We got a little bit squirrely, but
where was that?
Remember, it was like the eel restaurant. Remember, Kazama said, "Do you guys want to go for like yakitori or broiled eel?" And we're like, "Oh, yakitori," and then we ended up at the eel place anyways.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, but then so we were there, and Saji-san, I was sitting somewhat close to Saji, and one of his employees kept asking, he's like, "Oh, well, Saji is wondering if you would like to if you'd share some of this wine with him." I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then like, it just ended up being that I drank about twice as much as Saji did, and I was okay. And then it was like some mystery. He thought I was like invincible or something.
Yeah. D-Hop 310, yes. If Anru-san's making Blue 2 and he's making Origami Super, his Origami Super knives are better in the way that it'll stay longer and you can get them sharper. What's the Japanese writing on Kevin's hat say? Any idea? It says Moritaka Uchi Hamono, which means Moritaka knife makers. I asked for years for one of these hats, and they finally made one for me. Oh, and nice. At the same time they made one for me, they also gave Mike one too, and he'd never asked. Really pissed me off. I know. You know, and it's all worn out, so it's all worn out, so I need a new one.
You can just steal Mike's. Just go roll him for his hat. That's what the kids say.
I'm just gonna. I know where he lives. So
yeah, just walk in and take it right off his head.
No, we haven't done. We haven't. Chris, we suck. We haven't shown any knives really. We haven't talked about Heston Blumenthal and his French fries at all.
Yeah.
Because I was going to make them today, but I can't get into my kitchen right now. I've got workers in there doing something, and I couldn't work in my kitchen. And so we haven't done anything we planned to do. We've just talked about silly things. So maybe if anybody's listening to the madness, you should ask questions. Ask us any questions, we'll answer them. And maybe let's talk about French fries. Are you going to quiz me on them or what?
No, well, so Kevin is talking about, I don't know, is the fat duck still around, Kevin? Is he still out there? I don't know.
Heston?
Yeah.
You know what? I haven't seen Heston because I worked there briefly, right? I haven't seen Heston for a long time. I think the last time I saw him was right after he got his 3rd Michelin star, and it was a huge event for him because he didn't know how he was going to make payroll at the end of that month, and then they gave him his 3rd star, and all of a sudden it was blew up. Right? He had reservations everywhere. Because at that time, they were doing like 4 people at lunch and 15 people in the evening. Like, he didn't know where the money was coming from.
Yeah. It's funny how restaurants work that way, eh?
Yeah, but all of a sudden, as soon as somebody said it was good, it was good. Before somebody gave him 3 stars, before he had 3 stars, it was no good. But that day, he got 3 stars. It was really good after that. So last time I saw him, he was just relieved. But he was also crazy busy. Yeah. Like, I saw him at St. John Bar. So we had a pint together, and he was just going, oh, I don't know. He goes, before, when it was hard mentally because we had no money and there was no business. He goes, now it's hard because it's just so crazy every day.
Yeah, everyone's watching you all the time.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a couple good questions here now. AJ is asking, what are our thoughts on Skd and Sld steel? And then Trevor, go ahead.
I said, go for it. Answer that question.
Okay.
I'll let you.
So I haven't sharpened an Skd knife in a long time. I find that they are similar in performance. The SLD is a little less likely to tarnish, or SLD sometimes gets labeled as a stainless steel, and sometimes it gets labeled as a semi-stainless steel.
And sometimes it gets labeled as SKD12.
Okay. So see,
they're virtually the same. It's like the difference between Ginsen and VG10. Like, they're almost the same.
Yeah,
they're almost the same. What I like about the SLD, they are less reactive, which is nice.
No.
Sorry, Chris.
So yeah, they don't tarnish as quickly. No, it's all right.
Sorry, bad man.
No, it's fine. No, it's good. You helped me. I would have talked for a lot longer and eventually got to the same spot. So see, you're a Japanese train and I'm an Ontario train. That's what happened.
Ah, that's good. Garage sale.
Garage sale. We should talk about garage sale like as a whole for a moment.
Because it's a bit different this year.
It is a bit different. But this is their first garage sale, Trevor's saying.
Oh.
So
Trevor doesn't know what it used to be like. So we don't really have to tell what it used to be like. We can just talk about what it is now.
Yeah, that's what we should do.
Well, actually, the first garage sale was great. Nobody showed up, and there was 20 knives. Just in case you're interested. About 6 guys showed up right at the beginning, and there was about 20 knives. And that was the end of the first garage sale. It lasted for a day and a half.
Okay.
I think Mike got one.
Oh, did he? Mike's good that way. So these days, well, garage sale is going to be largely online, right? But I've always found describing garage sale is a lot like describing record store day. Like, if you're a bit of a vinyl collector, you already know what I'm talking about. But record store day is not about the record stores just slashing all the prices on everything. It's about, getting an ultra rare picture disc, or they're re-releasing a classic album on vinyl, and you can get it for a really good price. You don't have to wait and find, one that's in some dusty bin somewhere that's going to cost. So it's kind of like our garage sale is a lot like record store day. It's about super unique one of a kinds. It's about new blacksmiths or new stuff from blacksmiths that we already know and trust. It's sometimes there's usually a good component of stuff for those on a strict budget, like a door crasher kind of thing.
I bought a bunch of those yesterday from Tojiro.
Oh yeah,
a bunch of AUS 10 knives that are going to be like $60, I think.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, like they're a bunch of 180 or 165 Santoku. I think they're a bunka shape actually. plastic handle, like really inexpensive knives, throw them in the dishwasher kind of thing, but $60, and half of them have pink handles.
Nice.
So
nice.
Mums at Christmas.
Yeah, and I'd use a pink knife. I don't care. $60.
Iceberg Mama said she was going to ask about the fries. Well,
I was waiting. You know what? I'm going to show you something right here. This is backwards, but I've got notes for today. Iceberg Mama, and look, in reverse it says Iceberg Mama French fry talk. I didn't forget. Okay, I came prepared. I wrote it on my list. I've got my giant book. You know, sometimes, but shit happens, right? There's some guy just in there tearing Kevin's house up. You know?
Some stuff happens. Yeah, I was even going to cook them today, but I can't because my kitchen's disassembled.
Well, just try it again next week.
But the good thing is, Chris, is he's gone now, and my kitchen's still disassembled.
Ah, nice. That's not nice. That's bad. That's bad news.
Yeah.
Oh, Iceberg Mom says Fat Duck is still going. Whoa.
And Gabriel McCaffrey said beer.
He does like beer, that guy. I know him.
Do you know that guy?
I do, yeah. He's an all right dude. I like him.
I like him.
But yeah, garage sale is normally we would have here's my store. It's like mostly organized. It's only me here right now. But normally we'd have tables down the middle of the room. There'd be knives all over the, what am I pointing at? I'm pointing at the screen. There'd be knives all over these cases. Like this place really looks like a garage sale. But and then we'd have a lineup out the front door, and I'd probably have like sneaky booze hidden around the store. And it usually gets super out of hand. But we can't do that this year because we can't have a crowd in the store because it's not safe. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move everything over to the website. All right. So the best garage sale advice I could give you is, because I think we're also doing it all, like everything is like websites getting turned on at whatever, 10 o'clock Ottawa time.
10 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah. So the website ggets turned on. There's like Ellie is going to wait there, and there's the big like kind of cartoon switch like in like Spaceballs, and they just like turn on the switch. So you're going to turn on the website, and then if there's something there you want, you should order it so someone else doesn't take it. Especially a lot of like the one-of-a-kind stuff and whatnot. So we're going to have a setup like this on. It's Monday, the 16th of November.
Is the first day. It goes for a week.
Is day one. So throughout on that day and throughout the week, we're going to have a lot of videos like this where it's, Kevin or Naoto or Mike or Nathan kind of showing people knives. So you'd be able to be like, hey, I'm looking at this knife on the website. Can you show it to me up close? And then you can at least get our kind of take on it. Like if you're between two knives, you can pick one up.
And then we can do this for you, right? We can show you it up close, and we can show you it far, and we can show you what the handle looks like without stabbing our faces. We can show you down how thin the blade is, that sort of thing. And we can answer questions and give you opinions and and just basically help you choose the right knife.
Yeah. So it's like Japanese Knife 101 with every knife in the garage sale in front of us.
Yeah. And we did it for 8 hours on the garage sale last time. Mike and I did it for 8 hours on the Monday, and we're ready to do it again for 8 hours. And it was fun. We had like hundreds of people watching most of the time, and I think we answered every question. Yep.
Yeah, I think you did. I was watching.
It was hard for a while there because people were asking about one question every 7 or 10 seconds for a while. So a bit of it was speed round.
Yeah. Jean-Francois is asking, hi, usually do you chase them all over Japan? How do you source them?
Yeah.
Well, Kevin has met a lot of people. I'll just say it for him. He's been at this for a while. And yeah, it takes trips over to Japan, and you kind of meet friends of friends and so on and so forth. That's really no real rocket science.
Well, usually I'm there in person and chasing them down. But now, because I can't be there, what I've been doing is Naoto and I have been having Zoom meetings with everybody. And I've sent everybody gifts. I've sent hats and Christmas candies. And like I told you, Hinura-san, I got him a record. I got Masashi some Saskatoon berry jam because he likes that.
Oh,
So I've
yeah,
been
yeah,
sending
yeah.
everybody like fun gifts, and we just have a meeting, and that's how it works. Somebody said, "What do you know about Masamoto Soho 10?" I have no idea. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
We don't carry it, and yeah, I don't really know it.
I see that
My
name
first
around. So yeah, it's
Takeda, even more
Masamoto.
unique offering from him from the garage sale. I was talking with Takeda-san last week, and we ordered a bunch of knives from him. So those will be interesting, and some folding Higo knives as well. So those will be coming in
Those
from
are a lot of fun.
Takeda-san.
Those are a lot of fun.
So,
I've
yeah,
actually
so I've been
got one
buying
of those
stuff
in the
on
store.
anyway. So I've been buying stuff on Zoom. I've been buying one of a kinds, some mistakes. So we've got some mistake knives. We have some knives from Tojiro that are going to be like $60, I think, but he says they retail for about 110 in Japan. They're going to be 60 here because they forgot to put the name on the blade. So it's a really weird blade. One side is dimpled and one side is flat, is Megaki. So like one side is just smooth and one side dimpled. And they were supposed to put the name on it and they didn't, but they put it in the packages and we bought them all. I think we got 140 of them coming. So that'll be cool. Yeah.
There's an ultra unique Takeda. Now I don't know if it's kind of purple.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's nice.
I like that.
So yeah, all these Higos. This is what Kevin was talking about. We had one left here. So yeah, no,
we got some stuff
awesome.
like that coming from Takeda-san.
Yeah.
He didn't have any funky Western handle knives, because sometimes he does, but he didn't this time.
My buddy, our buddy JD here in Ottawa. JD has a 240 Gyuto with like a yellow quince wood handle. But
that was a cool one. That was a really cool one. It's got the brass. It's got the brass ferrule on it too, doesn't it?
Yeah. That was a really cool knife. JD's picked up a couple of cool knives this year.
Brian Crook is saying, "I'm really enjoying my little Fuji Higo." I am too, except I lost it. Fell out of my pants somewhere, which is not very happy for me, because mine because it was in the leather case, and the leather case was starting to look really good, and I've lost it.
Oh,
so I don't know what to do about
I got a question over on Instagram. Do you sell eel spikes? I know we could get it. We could get an eel spike from Moritaka's. Yeah, we can get them. This might take us a little bit.
A letter right now. I've got this. This is a special Moritaka style eel spike.
Oh,
that's for speed spiking. So you've got like 4, so you can just keep spiking them until it gets dull.
Yeah. If you sent an email to naoto@knifeware.com, NAOTO @knifeware.com, saying that you want to special order some eel spikes, he's the man. He's the man to ask.
Fred's asking if he goes ever.
Sorry, I was going to say, you'll actually get an eel spike. You won't get what Kevin was playing with. And if you didn't see what Kevin was playing with, you should be watching on YouTube instead of looking at my ugly mug.
Pretty sure it was an eel spike.
No. It's different, unique, custom eel
I'm texting Naoto right now to order some eel spikes. How's that sound?
Oh, there we go. Naoto is being texted about your eel spikes right now.
Because he's the man that gets eel spikes.
There was a good question there from, I think it was AJ again. Said, what is the best 150 millimeter Wapeti knifeware cells? I'd like one that is versatile for in hand and on the cutting board. Well,
150 is a bit long in the hand, but I would say Masashi Shiroshu. The shape is right.
I still got one.
The shape is right, and it looks great, and it's rugged and crazy sharp. Fred's asking if Higos are ever made with locking mechanisms. They're all made with a locking mechanism. The little spike on the end folds down, and you grab that, and that's locked. I've seen a few with a locking mechanism, but it's really unusual.
I might say, I was going to say to keep an eye on the garage sale, because Usually in the fall garage sale, we get a few things from Fujiwara with wah handles. And that would probably be the, see, because I like, a lot of people don't go crazy with a, they don't go nuts with their petty knife because they, I don't know, people seem to treat them like they're going to kick the crap out of them. But my petty knife, usually I like, they don't see a lot of trauma. Like I'm not like chopping really hard with a petty knife. So I am fully okay with getting something made out of a really stupid hard steel. And if it's a little more delicate, that's okay by me.
Kyle's saying, what's the difference between a Kato-san knife under the Kintaro brand between that and the Masakagi? The Masakagi is like Lexus. So anyway,
Yeah.
Mizaki Petty. Do you have one of those, Chris?
Mizaki? No, I don't. We don't have any Mizaki stuff in the store right now.
Oh, they must be stockpiling it for a garage, so there's a lot in the warehouse.
I think so. Yeah, they've been like, you know, trickling a few of those things out to us bit by bit. You know what I did get though? That's kind of cool. Oh, I already took it out. Did you see one of these?
Oh, Fred, you want to know what ETA for Conroe's? I'll text Nauta right now and find out. Nauta's Conroe's got delayed, and I don't know why.
Yeah. So this is a new knife from Kurosaki called, oh my God, I knew it earlier today. What the hell is this knife called?
Fusion?
No, look at it's a different, it's Firewall.
Oh, that's his new one. I haven't even seen those yet.
Yeah.
I ordered those from him. He put picture on Instagram, and I ordered them from there.
So this is an SG2 with like a Murado, and like it's what you like to call that like the inverse handle, right?
Yeah, it's the negative
reverse handle. Yeah, but it's gonna bug me now. I gotta look at the box. I think it's
Infinite Being is wondering if we sell wah handles and how much do we charge to install them. We sell wah handles. We install them for free generally, unless they're the fancy ones, and then we install them for 40 or 60 bucks. Those are the weird stabilized wood ones. But if they're a standard Japanese handle, we do it for free. Pretty cool, huh?
What a great group of guys.
Brian says they're called Senko.
Senko, that's what it was, yes. What was I saying? Sensho. Sorry, guys, Japanese is not my first language. But I looked it up after, and it has, I think it has something to do with fireworks.
I told Kazama.
You did tell Kazama I was half Japanese.
I told Kazama-san you were Japanese, and what happened? Poor Kazama spit rice all over the room.
Spit rice everywhere. He thought it was the funniest
He was
thing
really,
ever.
he was really freaked out. Adrian, Chef Max, so obviously says you should get a 120 Danka Petty. It's the best knife in the world. He also has a lot of Dankas. He understands they are the best knives in the world.
Yeah.
And the Masashi looks legit. Would you ever be getting a Fujiwara Cobalt Special Yutos? I order them every month, and Fujiwara-san doesn't make them. So there you go. I've got one.
Yeah, we love them.
I've got one. It might be the best knife he's ever made, and he doesn't want to make them anymore for whatever reason. You could cut a car in half. I have said that often. It came dull as a pencil as well. It was terrible. So I sharpened it for a long time. It was brilliant after that. But yeah, he doesn't want to make them, which sucks.
What a rascal.
I know. Well, did you ever meet Fujiwara-san? Did you ever see him stand down and stare down a car driver?
I did, yeah. I was there.
Tell me about that. That was funny.
Yeah, so we had dinner. Oh, yeah. That was the night. So he brought us, Kevin Visti and I stayed at Fujiwara's house.
Yep.
And he took us to a restaurant around the corner from his house. It was a sushi place, and it didn't look like much from the street, but it was one of the best meals I had when we were in Japan.
Listen, that is top tier sushi. That place is crazy. You would never know. It's always got a closed sign. You have to ask to come in. And
Mhm.
It is life changing. It's life changing.
Yeah. Yeah. So we went there and we were drinking. There was a Nihonshu that we had that kind of had like this like green peppercorn flavor to it.
That was so good.
Yeah, and then you had said like I really really like this and I want to bring some home. And you know, she maybe Shibata or Fujiwara's son had kind of passed the message along, and he promised he was going to bring us to the liquor store the next day to get it.
So he did.
And then he did. So the next morning, we had another bottle of Nihonshu with breakfast, which Fujiwara told us it was juice. And we weren't allowed to leave the table until we drank all of our juice. And
I felt pretty funny after that.
Yeah, it was a good morning. And then the best part was he had one of his employees drive Kevin, myself, and Visti up the street to this place, and because he wanted to ride his bicycle. And it was, if I remember correctly, it was a pretty fancy bicycle.
Oh, it was a carbon fiber, full suspension mountain bike. It was. Yeah. I don't remember the brand, but I'm sure it just cost $1 billion.
Yeah, so he hopped on that and started riding up the street, but Shiba was supposed to go with him. He was supposed to ride a bicycle with him. And he gave him like this like bike with like a flat front tire and had like a basket on it. It was like, he really set Shiba up for failure. And so we got there. He parks his bike. We get out of the car. And he just starts walking across the street. And there was a car coming. And Kevin was like, oh, Fujiwara-san, like, you know, be careful. And he just stopped. Yeah, the car was coming and he stopped and he just went and stared at it. And then he just continued to stare at it. And the car, like, he didn't get out of the street and the car just like put it in reverse and got out of there. And it was very awkward to be there with him. But he just wouldn't, he just like.
I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh no, so I think it made them go away.
Yeah. So, and then we bought the sake in the liquor store, and it wasn't the same sake because we drank it on the train that day.
Yeah, and it was not the same.
It was not the same. It was not the one with the green peppercorn flavor.
Delicious though.
Oh yeah, most of it is.
Infinite Being is asking what you think about a 240 Mizu. You have that knife.
I do. I have a 210. This is a 240. Look at this. I've got one right in the store. So the Masakage Mizu is an incredible knife for a really, really good price.
Really terrible handle.
Yeah, it's $210.
Terrible handle.
Yeah. So it's got a cherry handle with a plastic collar that's made to look like marble.
And it's really rough too. I hate it.
It's got a bit of a thing here. But this knife's only $210 for a 240 made out of blue number 2. So you know what, you like this is my first handmade Japanese knives were Masakage Mizus. And they are ridiculously sharp. They are carbon steel without the benefit of any stainless help. So something to keep in mind. If you're, this knife, like just to be straight with you, it'll rust one day. It doesn't matter how careful you are. If you've got a carbon steel knife, one day you will be faced with a little spot of rust and you will get stressed out. But it's incredibly sharp, nice and light. Onru makes these. They're great. It's nice and thin. Look at it. But the idea behind this line is like, what's the best knife we can get for the most amount of money, or other way around, best knife we can get for the least amount of money, right? So that's why you've kind of got this handle. There's no stainless. There's not really a fancy finish on it. It's really just meant to be super sharp for a really great price. That does come with a little bit of maintenance though, right? Carbon steels can rust, but it's worth it because they get a lot sharper. But something that they do is it's kind of hard to see in this light, but there is a bit of a lacquer brushed onto the knife. And that lacquer is food safe And so long as you don't scrub it off, it'll give you a little extra protection against any rusting, which I did not know. And I did scrub it all off of my knife. So, because I'm medium smart. So, I'm sure someone told me, I just didn't listen to them.
That happens. I just got news from Naoto that the Conros, some of them are coming in October, and the rest should be coming in November. But we also thought they should be coming all in October. So sometimes it's a bit of hit and miss. Brian Cook says, I love my Masakagi Koishi bunk. I love it. And do you like Shigeki? AJ, why do you keep asking me about knives we don't carry? We used to carry actually Shigeki Tanaka knives, and we stopped carrying them for reasons.
Well, I guess that's all you need to know, isn't it? I have a Koishi as well, Brian. This is my Hanasuki. So I do have a few knives around the shop.
Hanasuki, what Hanasuki should one have?
The Moritaka Hanasuki is the one that, like, I would, if we had one, I would probably buy one if I was feeling like a new knife. It's a good little treat knife, you know? But a Hanasuki, for those of you who don't know, is this is a pretty good representation of the shape, somewhat triangular, little bit of a kind of a dropped tip like that. The idea behind this knife is butchering poultry. So generally you get a much thicker spine, something that's going to stand up to cutting through joints and the occasional soft bone. The Koishi is made out of super blue carbon steel. It's got a stainless steel jacket on it to kind of help cut down on the rusting. But, you know, we used to do a class in the stores that were all about butchering a chicken. And you'd get a knife out of it too. You get a Fujimoto Nishiji Hanasuki. So Damon is asking, if I have a Bunka and a Santoku, do I need a Nikiri? Yeah, sure. You know,
I think after five knives, you don't need anything. But I got 5 bikes, and I need another bike. I've been actively shopping. Oh, Chris, can you send me my bike from Ottawa?
Okay, I can do
Chris,
that.
Can you hear me?
But for, yep.
I have my Ottawa bike.
I can hear you.
Can you send it to me, please?
Yeah. Okay, I'll figure it out. That's a real. That's a
no rush.
That's
I don't need
honest to goodness.
I don't need
request.
it until this.
Okay.
I don't need it till the spring.
Okay.
You got a few months.
Okay, cool. I just because we had talked about it before, but I wasn't sure if you were telling me to send it out. Okay.
Yeah, I don't need it till the spring.
Happen.
Thanks, man.
Okay. I'll add it to my list. Well, it seems like things are kind of drying up in the question department. So why don't I have my little list of everything that I wanted to talk about, and I've missed a couple of them. So I'm going to go through my list, and if you've got a couple of questions, go for it. And we've probably got time for a couple more. And then we'll cut it short for the week, or I guess it's not cutting it short because we're a half hour over with the Zoom meeting says we'd do. So we're actually not cutting it short at all. But we'll call it quits for this week. So you've got until I get through these notes to get some extra questions in.
I just got one quick thing to say to AJ. No, don't be sad about asking me about knives we don't carry anymore. I just don't like talking about why we don't carry them anymore because I don't want to disrespect, say something bad. I don't know. I don't want to disparage anybody. Anyway, sorry, Chris, go on.
Okay. So today's Tuesday. So on Thursday, we've got a pretty exciting thing going on. Naoto will be interviewing Kato-san, Yoshimi Kato. So that's going to be on October 8th on the same channels, same setup as what we're doing now. So, you know, via Zoom on Instagram, or not Instagram, on YouTube and Facebook. He might turn Instagram on, but if you just go to YouTube, okay? That's going to be October 8th at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, so 8 o'clock here in Ottawa and 5 o'clock out in Vancouver. We're also doing our knife sharpening class that same evening, which will be at, I guess, 6 o'clock Vancouver time. It might get pushed back a little bit if the Cato conversation goes over. I'm sure we would all prefer more Cato, and I don't know, Owen's fun. I shouldn't say we'd choose
I'd
Owen
forgotten.
over Cato over Owen.
I do.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
Over Owen.
Yeah.
I only choose
so that'll be a lot of fun.
Owen. Sorry.
Okay, well, that's fine. You're allowed. So this weekend is Thanksgiving here for all of our Canadian viewers and those working in the shops. So the stores will be closed on Sunday and Monday. That means if you need your knife sharpened for Thanksgiving dinner, you should come in sooner rather than later. Because if you wait until 5 o'clock on Saturday, there is a good chance you're not getting your knife sharpened in time. All right. We used to be able to, we used to brag that we could get your knife sharpened done while you waited in the stores, but we can't do that anymore because we've got to limit the number of people actually in the store. And that doesn't mean that sharpening happens while you wait anymore. So, you know, generally speaking, we tell people that they should be okay with leaving their knife with us overnight or for a day or two. So, you know, to avoid disappointment for you and for us and all of that, I would urge you to get your knives in for sharpening a little bit sooner. Okay, sooner rather than later if you can. In preparation for Thanksgiving, I wrote a blog post on the website giving some tips on how to cook a better turkey. And if I've learned anything from the knife skills videos I put up on YouTube and things like that, like the one where I chopped up an onion, there are a lot of people out there who seem to think that they're a lot better than I am at a lot of these things, and that might be the case. So if you don't agree with my top turkey tips, I don't care. So I've just done the best that I can. And
was there some comments about it?
Oh yeah. There was, okay, this, you know what? I'm gonna
because obviously it's picture butt. It's picture butt.
Oh, it did. I texted Nathan about it.
You should call me. You should call me. Oh. You should hear the things people have said about my book.
Oh, I imagine. I know. So here, I've just said, because when I dice an onion, I always like to put, like, I dice it, like I cut it in half, and then, you know what? Fuck, I got an onion here. Sorry, I'm cursing now, and because I'm all worked up.
You're all worked up. I like it.
I all worked up because this person doesn't know a goddamn thing what they're talking about. And if they were here in person, I'd say it right to their face. Okay, so here's my cutting board. I have an onion. So, and here's the exact same knife I was using in the video. Okay, Kuroshu Nikiri. When I cut an onion, I take off the top, I spin it around, and I take off the bottom, and then I cut it in half. Right? No rocket science yet. And then I peel it and I slice it almost, it's kind of hard to see because of the whole left-handedness, but it'll make sense here. I slice it most of the way back.
Okay, so this is a standard way to dice an onion. Taught at every cooking school in the world. Yeah. Every cooking school in the world teaches this.
And then what I say is, I like to get everything a little bit smaller and a little more even. So I put in a couple of cuts that are parallel to the cutting board. This is where the person took fault. They said, I don't know why anyone bothers with that. Everybody says that if you do that, like, you notice a big difference. It's like the layers of the onion are so thin, you'd never be able to tell. I can tell, like, you can tell through this laptop camera the difference. You know, like there's one where I put a couple extra cuts in, Okay.
You get
And one
more
of them was saying I was.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. You know. So
And
there's
what?
one.
Sorry. What? And what was somebody saying?
They were saying that that step is useless, and it's something that people just say to do to make themselves sound fancier.
Well, how many people are watching their how to cut an onion video?
Well, that's it. You know, how many of them are freaking college instructors? For God's sake.
You're a cooking instructor at the college.
You know.
Well, they're probably very good at it.
Yeah.
Everybody with a computer's got an opinion, man.
Oh,
Look,
I know.
and look at the difference.
So,
look at the difference. I can
look at the
see little
difference.
pieces in that.
Exactly. Yeah, there are some smaller pieces, but come on, buddy. Yeah, and then some other guy just jumped on his bandwagon, and because I made a comment about like how I like to pull the knife back, so it like I don't just drive it through, right? Because it feels clunky. And he's like, oh, he's wasting so much onion. It's no fucking waste. Get out of here. You know, like.
I love it. I love it.
Get lost, buddy. I hope you're watching right now.
I love it.
The store right now. You know, 613-695-4200. Call the store. Tell me it was you. I dare you.
One of my favorite reviews of my book. I wrote a book. It's called The Knife Nerd Guide to Japanese Kitchen Knives. I don't know if you know that, Chris, but I wrote this book.
I have a copy. Autographed copy.
One of my favorite comments about the book is he says easy peasy, not once, but twice in the book. There's no place in writing for the phrase easy peasy. He gave me a 1 out of 5 for it because it said easy peasy.
Oh, wow. Because you said easy peasy.
Yeah.
Oh,
said, fuck
Pat Boisvert, that's because, sorry, you only saw me chopping my onion, but that's because Japanese Knife 101 is better on YouTube. That's why you can't hear the other half.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. So yeah.
AJ says
I
if
got
I
all
wanted,
worked up about.
AJ says if I want a true toaster knife maker, what do I get? Get a Murata, but he is retiring or retired. But we bought as many as we could. So get something from Murata-san. He's true toaster knife maker style. And he's the best one. Knife he's retired.
I have a petty. He wasn't too thrilled to see us that day, was he?
We interrupted him.
I think we just crashed his house. But that's a Murata 150 petty with a wall handle.
And look at the shape of that petty too. I love it, man.
Yeah.
I love the shape of that so much.
They're like baby Yanagibas. Or I guess like a CGP single level. So, but yeah, that onion video got me so.
Chef Max wants to know if your turkey's anything like your brisket. Don Penny was also bragging about his turkey too, so I don't know what's going on.
He did bring that up. I don't know, guys. You know what? I'm just trying my best. All right. I'm the first one to tell you that I am of the knifeware management team who were like 90% burnt out, grumpy cooks.
You and I were the most burnt out. You and I were the most burnt out and grumpy.
Like when I left working in restaurants and then I started working here at Knifeware, I didn't cook anything that was beyond bare nutrition for 2 years because I hated it so much. So
we never talked about that. I'm real similar. In fact, it took me about 8 years of being out of restaurants before I actually enjoyed cooking again.
Yeah. Yeah. I just fed my daughter.
Working.
Oh yeah.
Working in that industry tried to kill me. It took my happiness away, and it took everything away. The only thing I was left with was anger and efficiency.
Yep, that's about it. Oh, there's a topic for next week. Yeah, you're not wrong, Iggy. Although if you thought I swore too much today, just wait till I get on that. Get on that with all the people who don't got jobs anymore because of COVID, and oh Jesus, thank God I don't do that anymore. So yeah, I wrote a blog about turkeys, and if you disagree,
which I even helped you with it. I remember that.
Yeah. So if you disagree with my turkey tips, again, I really don't care because I
Stick it.
have eaten what I've cooked and I think it tastes good. So
What did somebody say? I gotta go find that now.
yeah, I don't know if it's like on YouTube or if it was just like, oh, it just rubbed me the wrong way. You know?
Okay.
But then like our buddy
Did you
Derek.
do a turkey video?
No, I didn't do a turkey video. I just wrote the blog post.
Yeah.
Because I think Nathan and Mike are supposed to be cooking a bird. So that's this weekend. October. That's where I'm trying to get through my damn notes here. And I cut up an onion on a tangent. That's me. That's Chris Lord for you. So the story.
I loved your turkey blog. I thought it was really smart.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
I thought it was
Because
really
I don't
smart.
know.
There
Like
was lots of smart things in it.
I think when you're cooking something like a turkey, there's a lot of small decisions you can make along the way that'll have big impact, right? Because I'm not comfortable writing a recipe for a turkey and telling you that it's going to be the best bird you've ever cooked, because maybe you bought a shitty bird at the grocery store. And maybe I started with some kind of like, something like local and free range, right?
Step one is buy a better bird.
Yeah, and you can brine it. I have a really hard, I know brining a turkey is really popular, but I don't have a place to put a 16-liter bucket. So there's lots of tricks. So, try some of them if you like. If you don't, then Fred is asking if I can teach a class about the best way for an American to move to Canada if the same person gets elected. Well, Fred, I went to a 2-year culinary school program. I think if you're interested in immigration law, you do not want to ask my opinion, because I don't know how much I can help you. If I have not dedicated, my brain is mostly dedicated to Japanese kitchen knives, Dungeons and Dragons rules, and where my children have to be at what time. So I don't have a lot of room for legal advice, sad to say.
I wouldn't trust anything legal from him.
No, I tend to get in small amounts of trouble.
I'm looking for this turkey comment. What I need to find.
No,
this
it wasn't
comment.
the turkey. It was on the onion video.
There was a comment about turkeys on the onion video.
No, someone was saying that I cut onions like an idiot. And
well, let's see. Let's go through these videos. Let's go through these comments here. I'm going to read them for you.
I think it was on Instagram.
Listen, awesome. I love How to Cut Things series. Lordy, you are finally going to buy a Kuro shoe? Great video.
Yes, that was Brian.
And then Danny G, Hero of the World, says it is absolutely unnecessary to cut the onion with these parallel cuts. It brings zero value to the size or uniformity of the dices. Since the layers of the onion are thin enough on their own, makes me crazy when people do it and pretend it's the proper way. Oh, I just gave him a thumbs down for that. That's not very nice. Oh, and someone says, with the first cuts he made, I imagine he needs those parallel cuts to actually chop through the whole onion. Oh, people are funny, aren't they? I wait for their video to show us how to do it right.
You know what I would do? If those guys worked for me in a kitchen, this is what would happen in real life. If you guys worked for me in a kitchen, and if a cook had the gall to tell me how to dice an onion in the kitchen, I would make you cry before I fired you.
That's why we don't work in restaurants anymore.
Yeah. Like that whole speech about at the beginning of the movie Taken, and Liam Neeson is given I have a very particular set of skills and all this and blah, blah, blah. Being a chef makes it so you can make grown men cry. Just with words. So. But
Patrick is saying, where's this turkey blog? It's written, I've edited it, but it's not been published yet. So go to our website. The turkey blog will pop up on our website soon. I can't find it on there. I don't think it's published yet. Brian Cook says, have you heard Kenji Lopez Alt's theory about radial cuts are just below the cutting board? I don't know what that means. So I haven't heard that. And some people
Radio
think that
cut.
you're funny, Chris, because you're so unhappy.
Well, I'm actually very happy now.
Well, I think you're just unhappy about those comments.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I think it's time for us to leave. We've just wasted people's time enough.
You know what? But yeah.
Oh, Nathan says the turkey blog is up. Nathan, drop a.
Oh, stick a link. Stick a link in the comments.
Drop a link to the turkey blog there, buddy. I can't find it on the website, but maybe I just don't know how to, use Google or something.
Yeah, I don't know how to work the internet. That's why they just point. I've actually, it's a wonder I've managed to figure out all this camera nonsense. Well, okay, let me get through this list. Stores are closed Sunday, Monday because of Thanksgiving. There is a blog post. Nathan's going to put the link up there on how to help you cook a better.
Let's get this straight. This isn't Canadian Thanksgiving. This is real Thanksgiving.
That's correct. Thanksgiving. It is just Thanksgiving. That's what we'll call it.
There's one later in the year called American Thanksgiving. It's like Thanksgiving Part 2 or fake Thanksgiving.
Oh, fake-giving.
I want to say that.
Is what we're going to call it.
Fake-giving.
So,
there we go.
We are past the concept of Thanksgiving. I'm now going to tell you that Knifeware is going to be, we're doing something with the food bank at the end of the month. Do you know about this? You know. Yeah, so October 26th to November 1st. So October 26th to November 1st, 100% of our sharpening fees are being donated to our local food banks.
Yeah, in Calgary, Edmonton, Ottawa, Vancouver.
Yeah, so those 4 food banks are all going to get all of the money we raise from knife sharpening for that, I guess it's 6 days. So,
I'm going to get your knife sharpened, man.
Yep, that is the time to come get your knife sharpened. We'll sharpen, and you know what? We'll sharpen like most kitchen knives. Like a lot of people, I don't like. They'll phone the store and they'll say like, oh, I've only got like Henkel's or Wusthoffs. Do you sharpen those? I'm like, yeah, of course we do. We'll sharpen any and all of your kitchen knives. Okay, we charge $6 or $10 for a Western knife. We charge $10 or $15 for a Japanese knife. That's all dependent on length. Okay, like here, that's $15 because it's Japanese. It's 10 if it were Western. And then obviously I don't have a petty knife, but I do have this Higo. Things like that are going to fall into our $6 or $10 category. All right. Repairs start at $5. So that's things like if you dropped your knife and the tip broke off, or you cut something frozen and there's a chip, right? And it just takes us extra time. So we got to charge a little bit more, but that's going to go to the food bank as well. Okay. So that's a really great thing. I know when I worked at Union, we worked with the food bank quite a bit. And they're a great group of people and they do a lot of really good work for the city. So we're happy to join that and help some people get something to eat. So, and then a couple weeks after that, garage sale, November 16th. It's going to be mostly online. We're going to, keep an eye out for, we'll have a schedule of videos, much like what we do on Tuesdays, but with all the garage sale knives in front of us. So
something big's going on.
Yeah, 2 fire trucks. So, yeah, I don't know. That's all I've got, Kevin.
Yeah, we got D-Hop 310 said, should I go with R2 or AS Kotetsu? R2.
Yeah. R2, but never chip it.
R2, but never chip it. Did you see the one Francis sharpened on Instagram recently? Someone had used, it wasn't a Kotetsu, it was a Hanasuki Kuma. So the SRS-15, they used the tip as a screwdriver and snapped it right off. What on earth? Iggy is asking the question. Do you see the question Iggy's asking? It's asking the question that I don't want to talk about. Is there going to be a Masakagi sale in February? Listen, Iggy.
Get through Christmas first, bud.
Well, let's. I think I might want to let the rat out of the bag here at the end of this video. we are selling so many knives now that we can't get enough Masakage knives to fill our larders. And it's really hard for us to have a Masakage sale in February. Last year, we sold out of basically all the knives in the first 5 days. And for the rest of the month, we didn't have any knives. And everybody told us we were jerks and said we were hiding knives and accused us of cheating on the sale and all kinds of shit. And we can't have that again. So I don't know if we can actually have a Masakage sale just because we have no bloody inventory of it. It's not like these guys can just like, because we're selling too many knives right now. We've got too many stores. Back when we had 3 stores, right? We could have a Masakage sale all the time. Now we got 6 stores, and it's hard. So we're trying to come up. I think we're going to do a Hadayuki sale and maybe a Fujimoto sale in February, because we don't want to like yank the sale out. But problem is we just can't look like jerks anymore. You know, we can't have people calling us jerks for 25 days out of the month because we ran out of knives. Do you remember the bread knife sale we did this summer, Chris? We thought we had enough bread knives for a whole 2-week sale, and we have sold out in 3 hours. We forgot everybody was making sourdough bread this summer. So we can't have another sale like that. Iggy, don't hang around till February. If you see a Masakage knife that's in stock that you want to buy, just buy it, because the supply is like, it's so low right now. They're having supply issues as well, Masakage, and frankly, when was the last time we had a full set of anything from Masakage?
Oh, like I've got 1 Koishi in the store. I've got like 3 Kumos. Yeah,
it's not getting better. We're just selling too many things. Like I said, when we had 3 stores, this is actually something to address. Like when we had 1 store, 2 stores, 3 stores, 4 even, it was easy. We could always get the inventory we needed, and we rarely ran out of things. But we run out of things more and more these days because we had 6 stores, right? So we're working hard with our different guys to get better inventory, but frankly, it's handmade stuff, so a lot of it is just some like look at Hinura, like knives from Hinura and Shigafusa. When we get them, they're sold out of the warehouse. They don't even make it to the stores.
They don't even make it to the stores. I've seen a Shigafusa knife. 1.
Because as soon as we
I've been here for 5 years.
As soon as we put them online, so as soon as they come to the warehouse, we put them online and they're sold like within 10 minutes. Right? Yeah. So it's like the Masakage tanks is another one like that. Like we just can't keep them in stock, right? They just get sold as soon as they arrive. So sorry, I want to do a Masakage sale, but I don't think we can just because we don't have the inventory. And someone said, Takamaru Ichigumo, are they going to be back in stock in the future? Sure. I hope.
Yeah.
I try.
They're another one of those. The Ichigumo,
and Takeda's,
they turn up, they just...
Fred, Takeda's never go on sale. But you can get the unusual ones at the garage sale, which is always fun. And my buddy Keith Carlson, who has the best buns in Clare's Home, Alberta, on Facebook says jerk. So there you go.
Are those the giant? Are those the giant, like there's like
cinnamon bun this big?
That like there's like 6 in a hotel fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. I've heard about those.
Yeah, Mrs. Fujiwara still talks about that. Every time I see her, she just laughs. She's so happy. She had the biggest cinnamon bun in the world, and it was all hers. She was so happy.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's it. That was a good, you know what, guys? There was at least 20 of you watching me talk for 2 hours.
I did. That's 21. That's
21.
2 hours. My God. We babbled on for 2 hours.
And you know what? It didn't even feel that bad.
No,
didn't feel like 2 hours.
I like spending time with you, Chris.
Yeah, I like talking to everyone too. It's fun. No one wants to see, because I try to tell these stories about like I'll go home now and I'll try to tell Maeve about how I'm upset about the person who questioned my onion dicing, and she won't care, but you guys all cared. So that you guys like backed up my...
Well, maybe what I'll do next week is I'll grab my least favorite reviews for my book and read them out.
Mm.
One of my favorites, one of my favorite reviews of the book is unreadable except Naoto's section, because Naoto writes the section about super nerd steel section. That was one of my unreadable except Naoto's section. So I like that. And then one guy gave it 1 star on Amazon because it didn't teach him how to make a knife.
Mm.
So he just gave it a 1 star because it wasn't the book that he wanted. It's like watching Wolf of Wall Street and just complaining there's no wolves in it.
Yeah. You know what? I like these guys. Brian says, yeah, F those guys. You're right.
Oh,
Brian.
thanks,
F
Brian.
those guys.
You're a good man. All right, on that, I'm out of here. That's the best thing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna spend my evening lighting fires and playing guitar for my neighbors loudly so they are sad. That's my plan.
Play Wonderwall. Can you play Wonderwall?
I can play Wonderwall very badly. Very badly. Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. I was thinking it might be some
You know
Wonderwall.
what?
Might be some Bob Dylan. Might be some Tom Waits. I've been playing Hold On lately by Tom Waits. That's quite good. Singing it too. I'm terrible, by the way. Just so you know.
That's fun.
Was a little late. Will this upload onto YouTube?
It should. You know, provided that I didn't screw it all up, it should be there for you. If I did screw it up, it'll be on Facebook. So I don't think I screwed it up. So, all right. So just remember, sharpening video on Thursday, Kato interview on Thursday, stores are closed Sunday, Monday.
And advanced sharpening Friday night with me and Naoto.
That's right, advanced sharpening Friday night. So there we go.
All right.
We know what you guys are doing. All right, talk to everybody soon.